Do that exactly.
It's 2023. Do you think that thylacine still exists?
Maybe.
Work your perfect happy.
That's it.
It's like it sounds like
it?
Les Claypool.
We're using that.
It's perfect. It's hilarious.
Shit. Okay.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. We did it.
And we're back.
So 2022 had a hell of a close.
It was a good time.
Andrew Tate's reign over the Twitter, well, not Twitter, but like Andrew Tate's reign over people's minds has ended in the most funny of ways.
That's the heating kicking on.
It is. We keep hearing something, and I don't know what
That
it is.
was,
Sorry.
there was like thunderous sounds.
Something
but
earlier,
that
yeah.
was the air.
Maybe it was a rolling chair.
But
The only other thing is that the car door closing, maybe.
today we're here to talk about possums.
So last episode, we
Possums.
said we put a pin in it.
And we're taking the pin out of it.
Because we can't think of anything else.
It's possum time.
So why are possums?
Possum.
And the plural to possum is possi.
If we're pulling that one out, I'm going to pull out some real ones you're not going to believe me on.
Well, I know the multiple of crows is a murder, right?
Yeah, that's just the term for like multiple.
What?
Right.
Your hat is on like very crooked like.
Is that true though? The plural possum is possi, or is I think
I thought it was possums.
I think it is
Or it was
possums.
just possum.
But
That one I'm actually not sure
because
of now.
I
am second guessing myself.
I'm pulling this out of another show, Wyatt. And there was an episode of iCarly where they went to Tokyo and they get in an argument about the plural possum.
Now, that one I don't think we could actually take with like how much.
I know, but like
That's-
Freddie's so adamant that it's possi.
I'm actually willing to look that up though.
Look it up, damn it.
Yeah,
Look it up.
plural of possum.
Freddie's just so adamant.
Yeah.
In the words of Daryl, you know who I like on that show? The friend with the camera. It's a real quote from The Office.
What?
I swear to God.
Bless America.
Plural.
Yeah, plural
That
of
is
possum.
Frankenstein, I swear.
Yeah, Lionel Frankenstein
Lionel
again.
Frankenstein.
Plural to possum.
Is it actually possi? I feel like that's wrong.
Plural to possum is possums.
It is possums?
Yeah, which I always say, but I always like to pull that quote out of nowhere. You mean possi?
There is one that I've heard of that I am pretty sure that it is technically incorrect, but it also at one point.
Platypi? I think
Platypi,
because
because I remember at one point reading that it's supposed to be platypodes because of the distinction. Yes, the dicks.
Oh.
The distinction of the way that the words are in their origins.
Mhm.
That the plural is supposed to be platypodes.
Platypodes.
Meanwhile, octopus is octopi.
Octopi.
There's a joke I can make here. I don't think I should make it.
Platypussies. Or
Damn
platypuses.
Yeah,
Damn it, you stole my joke.
I knew that's where you're going.
but I think there's a chance that it might actually scientifically be platypodes, but I can't
Look
say
it up.
that with like 100% certainty or even like 80% certainty.
Bro, the platypus is so
It's like
weird. There's only
65.
one of them on Earth anyway.
Yeah, there's nothing else like the platypus. Unless you want to say that the echidna is even remotely similar, just because it lays eggs.
And it's a mammal.
And sometimes it punches like a hedgehog. It's weird.
Platypodes is the correct thing. GG. Wyatt.
Platypodes! Anyway, that's a thing. They sweat milk, they lay eggs, they have a poisonous ankle barb. They were born near a nuclear reactor and having IQ
I swear,
of 2.
dude, they're dumb.
They're weird. There's
They're
no
weird
reason.
animals, and there's the fact that there's multiple in the same area of another mammal that lays eggs.
Right.
is
like,
wild.
Australia is just like
I think Australia.
it's separated at just
I
the
think-
right point where things to get really weird.
I think Family Guy has a joke about it too, where it's like I think like Australia is just like God's playground. Let's see how much effed up shit we can make.
And meanwhile, you do have stuff that's like I think that like there's some animals from like Africa that would fit better
in
Australia, like the giraffe.
Or the honey badger.
Really?
The weirdness of the giraffe.
A long-necked.
The useless little antler things. It's a weird animal.
Yeah.
Something about it to me screams Australia.
I feel like
but I think the pattern on it is specifically meant to be camouflage.
I feel like if
Africa.
the honey badger
is,
was
because
in
of
Australia, it would
yeah.
kill things.
What
was that?
I
Sorry.
feel like if the honey badger was in Australia, that like there would only be honey badgers.
I feel like we would have a honey badger uprising because they would thrive in that environment too well.
Yeah, there's no
lions at all.
Well, there's nothing
Well, there's
out
so they
there.
gotta fight the people.
There's nothing to
With the
to rival them. Period. Because
how well would they react to?
I mean, snake venom doesn't
Yeah, but-
really affect them all that much.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Or
There's
is it
nothing really
specific to
to-
like the different kinds of snakes that you find in those regions,
That's true.
though? Or how similar are the poisons
I don't know.
or the venoms, I should
I
say?
don't know.
So now I have a question: a honey badger versus a huntsman spider. Is it gonna die from the bite, or is it gonna survive? I want to know.
I love how we're just talking about Australia now.
It's
that's the main
marsupials,
where
Australia.
Marsupials are at. Like
There's a few in other places of the world.
99%.
I know there's a possum in my neighborhood. There's quite a few actually.
I want to know. Do you think
I'm gonna start
possums in
kidnapping possums
do you think
and washing them in my
possums were
bath.
were really in Australia and then but like they got separated when the what's the name of the where all the continents were together?
Pangea.
Pangea.
Yeah,
When
Pangea.
Pangea separated, do you think that they just got lost from the herd and they
I don't
adapted to
know.
this
Yeah,
environment?
I think the Oceania plate separated at just the right moment that there was a lot of these creatures, and I think the North American possum is just this thing that just continued and persisted.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that it's
Well, 'cause they're not immune
it's
to-
separated a long ago enough to where I don't know if the possums had evolved from anything like that now.
Well, they do share a common
mean,
ancestor just
we-
because of the
Yeah,
marsupial.
Yeah,
thing.
I mean, yeah. What we've also, I guess so. I mean,
It happened
might-
at
might
one
have been
point,
the-
but
they
it's not
might
quite
have-
in the same
they might
way.
have like came along
yeah,
from the land bridge.
I was throwing a
That
very wild ball out there just as a
Oceania
joke.
would have been at a different point than that.
I know, but like,
Or
And
do
the
you
land
think-
bridge has also been
Yeah, I was
proven to
about
be
to say,
wrong
for which species or just
in general.
all
Because
How
the
the
way
fuck
the
did
land bridge
humans get
was,
here
it
then?
was too large of a land area to not have anything for things to eat. So they would walk more along like the areas where there would be like kelp. So the land bridge itself was basically like a barren wasteland of just death and cold.
so is that
So the
so
kelp
human-
highway, I think, is what a lot of people have
humans
referred
are
it to.
just we're just
so they
able
walk
to
the
withstand it?
coasts basically.
And there's also evidence that humans were here before the land bridge. So we're just
There's-
creative
well-
little suckers.
Well, I'll say something. There's been many ice ages, right?
right.
So they might have just happened before in a previous one, maybe.
That's the theory, that before the last ice pullback, you know what I'm trying to
Mhm.
say, before that land bridge was a thing
Right.
that was out there. That there is evidence of humans as we know it, not societies, but like species wise, being able to come this far.
So I forget the exact name, and my only source right now is Trust Me Bro, because I heard this off of another video and they didn't cite their source. But the video had a scientist in it. So Trust Me Bro is my only source really. But there was a third subspecies of human. It was like Neanderthals, and then there's Homo sapiens, right? But
there's evidence for like 9 more.
I know,
Yeah.
but then there was another one where they found jewelry that belonged to this subspecies, tribe, whatever, where there was a hole drilled in the bracelet, but they could figure out that it was drilled from a stationary drill because the hole was too perfect and
like too straight
drilled way too perfectly straight through. So they're like, this had to be from a stationary drill that was either had a place
this
or
on
was
the
set on
History
a
Channel?
table. I heard this on a podcast where they.
So there could be a margin of like there's
Ancient
something here.
aliens.
Well, all I'm saying is that I think
I like
I
ancient
subscribe
aliens
to
more
the-
than people
the-
that are like
the
Graham Hancock, who
Right.
has like a show on. There's this huge popular theory, and Graham Hancock is the one that pushes it a lot. And I know people that are too close to me that like his theory, that like there was a super civilization before the last ice age, and it's like, and like I've had people try to say that it's like, well, it makes sense. There wouldn't be any evidence of it. You know how bad an ice age is, and it was like, do you know how deep soil goes? There's so much that a glacier will crush, but there's going to be evidence left in somewhere.
It's just
Well,
how
like,
far
even,
you can
like,
dig
we could-
down.
Right. I mean, we could find suction cup pads of giant octopus on the ocean floor.
Right.
Like,
we can find evidence of all these
or
things.
squids.
Granted, it's, on the
Right.
ocean floor and it's
Yeah.
a trace fossil, but there's still evidence.
There would still be something, but
Graham
I
Hancock
agree.
isn't an archaeologist.
But I do agree. I do think that there was. I don't think it might have been super advanced, but I do agree that there was advanced societies before us. Like I think like the Egyptians were one. To be honest,
yeah,
like,
I mean,
a large civilization.
a large civilization, but that like had more technology than we think.
Define technology.
Not like computers, but
Right.
like standing drills and like
well, yeah, but
everything.
that's
Right, like
possible.
Stone Age lathe.
Right.
Well, not Stone Age, but like early lathes
like
existed.
even,
foot
like,
power, like
metal-
like foot pedal power,
like
and, like
even
water
like metal
power,
tools and shit.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, the Bronze Age was
Right.
entirely the induction.
Yeah.
Well, see, but I
metal
think
tools.
there's been like a bunch of these everywhere.
Well,
'cause,
yeah,
like,
there's some areas.
Well, they happened
there's
at
been, yeah.
different points.
Right.
Is the
Yeah.
thing.
But like I think that
I mean, the
maybe
dark-
those civilizations were way more
the Dark
technologically
Ages
advanced
kind
than
of
we
wiped out
Give
of
them
some
credit
shit,
for?
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of people that like to try and say it's like these people would circumnavigate the globe, and my source is
Trust me, bro.
Yeah,
But
and they
there's like
pull out some.
there's like
random
some
crap.
sort of evidence that the Egyptians had like a way to like transmit things. Right?
No.
Had a vacuum.
It sounds like a blender. But I thought there was like something where like there was like the Egyptians were able to like there was like they found some written thing where like they talked about how they were able to heat water without fire.
Oh, just conduction.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you were talking like
No, not like transmit my Wi-Fi signal over there. Like
transfer energy.
transfer energy.
That one
sorry.
I can't speak much on, but
because
there was
that was also in like the Roman society.
right
is they could
induction
heat- yeah,
heating,
they could
trying to find ways to heat things
Heat-
in other ways.
Yeah.
Because it's pretty easy to figure out that like compost heats up too.
Right.
So there's other ways to heat things. It's just that fire is normally the most efficient.
Right.
It takes less effort
Like the Romans had
For a
air
human.
conditioning though.
to a certain degree.
Right.
It's
Their
not the
lighting
same as-
systems. The
It's not
Greeks
the
had
same
lighting
as ours.
systems.
Right.
Granted, it was like through mirrors and stuff
And,
and
like,
complex
or
areas.
like gas and stuff, right? Or no, that wasn't. a thing
Define
for-
gas. It's one of those things.
Yeah, yeah. That wasn't a thing.
But like,
there's
like a lot of people try to say that Egyptians were more advanced than what we think they are, and try to cite the idea of the Dendra light, which is like people cite this image that looks like a light bulb, but it's just the Egyptian. If you know how to read hieroglyphics, it's the Egyptian creation mythology. This is a lotus flower. This is a snake coming out of it,
right.
and this is just like lines.
Mm-hmm.
It's all laid out, and people have seen it before. But this one, people are like, "Oh no, that's a light bulb."
Well, and what about the fact that but like how did they move the limestone from the quarry that was like
That's
150 miles away or something big
yeah,
number?
no, that's a big one that people are still trying to figure out.
It's like they transported massive blocks of limestone,
huge, literally
bigger
tons.
like tons upon tons, like bigger, like as big as like fucking.
Stonehenge
bigger than-
is
yeah.
also within that question, and
Right.
people are always like, "Oh, it was aliens." It's like, show me evidence to say it was aliens.
So kangaroos.
I believe the pyramids were more alien than Stonehenge, but
it's
yeah.
easy to say aliens when
Right.
we don't know.
understand it. It's just like saying stuff's magic.
Just right.
Right.
That's why fantasy stories are also much easier to write for people, because they're like, "Hey, why is this like this?"
Magic.
Magic,
magic.
because it is.
All right. Kangaroos.
I have one more thought to pyramids.
I have one more theory to pitch to you guys. It's
okay,
Connor.
Wait,
It's
I
all
just-
connected.
Just let me drop this one. Anybody that says that the pyramids were made out of a concrete system, I want you to remind them how limestone is made, and it takes thousands upon millions of years, depending on the limestone itself. It's a sedimentary style rock, and people are, I believe the pyramids were made by concrete. And it's like, these are individual bricks made from limestone. You dumb MF. Like, you
dumb-
idiot.
You dumb MFer.
Yeah, that's all I could think of. And it's like,
Um,
because I remember hearing that in the history class, and it was like, my
Which
eye
one?
started twitching.
Which one?
I remember hearing it in 6th grade, and it bothered me then. And then I reheard it in college.
By
that's a
was it a student or a teacher who said that?
Teacher brought it up, and the teacher also called it crap. That it's just one of the theories that people like heavily believe in, and it's
Right.
like, that's
like,
dumb.
I was like,
For
how
a
did they
lot
do
of
that?
reasons.
Miss Sophie hit
Smoothness,
that
though, on the
stupid.
outside.
Shaved limestone. Limestone's extremely easy to cut. And it also comes down to a point. It might not be as smooth as we picture.
As we thought.
Right, because it's also been taken down and destroyed and taken off and fixed, and like the pyramids don't look like how they used to at one point.
No.
And
they
the
used to have
pyramids
gold
that
tops too, which is how they get the gold up there.
By slaves.
Take it, slave power.
But gold is super heavy too, you know.
Slave power.
And to cap the whole thing, was it multiple pieces? You think?
Oh yeah, it was definitely multiple pieces. It's the only way it would make it
like
make
what?
sense.
There was like a layer, and then
It was probably
cone
paneling.
Maybe
Paneling that they ended up sticking up there with some kind of linkage, probably also made from gold or bronze.
God.
Maybe even silver, depending on how.
The fact that looking back, the fact that whole civilization existed before you were even born.
Oh yeah,
is
understand
terrifying.
how long the Egyptians existed.
Right.
1,000 years essentially. Like Mona Lisa. That's out of nowhere. Cleopatra.
Mona Lisa was an Egyptian.
Yeah. If anything, she was probably a Parisian. I don't know how to say someone from Paris. But, like,
Parisian.
Cleopatra was born closer to the moon landing
Right.
than the creation of the Great Pyramid of Giza.
Right.
That's how far apart the timelines are.
Yeah.
Which also should tell you how short human history is.
Yeah.
And how much happened in specifically the last 1,000 years.
There was quoting Ultron, there was a dozen extinction level events before the dinosaurs got theirs.
I mean, that's very true.
Yeah. So here's the theory. The theory goes is that the Amazon forest is a man-made forest.
Bullshit.
And by that I mean all these trees were planted.
In what year, though?
I have no clue, but the only thing is that they have that technology where they could look through the canopy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Through on the plane. And they noticed
LiDAR
tracks
is what it's called.
Yes. Thank you. And they noticed road lines and under the forest canopy.
I mean,
Oh, that's because nature's relentless.
Right.
Like, you can see how much rainforest grew after the conquistadors came to, like, parts of South America. Like,
and also there's
But the
like,
theory I don't know if I
civilizations
agree.
that are still in the rainforest that
Right.
have made their own roads and made their own paths
But
just by walking.
The theory
that's
goes,
also different than, like, the stone
No, this was like an
pathways, though.
advanced road system that
Right,
they
like,
saw.
similar to, like, what
Yeah.
Incas would have had.
And so the theory goes is that in attempt to hide this civilization, they planted over it with trees. I don't know if I subscribe.
It just doesn't make sense on why they would want to hide their civilization after they're
Mhm.
dead, essentially. Like, I understand the idea of people like, oh, if it was like this, this, and this, and it's like there's a difference between hiding like a king who you want to have a good burial and your entire civilization. I think it's probably related to the Olmecs, which we consider like a mother culture to a lot of the stuff that we see throughout South America into Mexico and even parts of further north because, cultural diffusion.
People can walk.
But the Olmecs were stone makers. They made these large stone heads that they would leave of leaders in some places. I think it's related to that at some degree.
Yeah.
Right.
Just because of how old it is. We don't know much.
Right.
And
And the Amazon rainforest is another place kind of like on par with Australia.
it's insane.
The amount of stuff that's in there.
It's crazy.
River dolphins
Terrifying.
that are disgusting looking. I've always thought they were the ugliest thing in the world.
I like them more than ocean
because they're
dolphins.
designed more for like fish, right? They got like a more narrow thing. There's also this fish that was recently discovered in the Everglades. You'll like this, Wyatt.
Is it another pea stream fish?
No, it's a giant fish.
Really? Just
Yeah.
discovered in the Everglades?
Yep.
Everglades. Like,
yes, the Florida Everglades. And
you think that some redneck would have found everything by now?
Nope.
You know how many rednecks are born down there? These kind of rednecks are more along the lines of hooting and hollering versus playing banjos, I think.
I forget what it's called, but it starts with an A, and I know that for
Close.
sure. But this
Ah,
fish
you
gets
know
like 15
banjo
feet
do here?
long.
Really?
Yes, and it's ginormous. But this fish in the Amazon rainforest, I gotta find the name. Someone else talk while I find this because it's gonna drive me crazy. if I can't
Kangaroos
provide.
Yeah.
are freaking
terrifying.
evil. Yeah.
Kangaroos are horrible people.
I know.
Like, they will act like they're drowning so that way they can trick you to come in the water so that way they can drown you.
Mm-hmm.
And they like just try to pick fights with people just because they can.
Like,
They're like little people, except also 6 foot something
They're
tall and can kick your
angry.
organs out
they're so angry. Like,
for nothing. It's because they're unchallenged, I think.
remember?
Like how the koala has no predators, neither did the kangaroo.
Yeah.
They've never been humbled.
I still remember once in like.
And that's
year
why
in
I carry a
freshman
12
year in
gauge
high
shotgun in
school-
Australia.
Freshman year in high school, we did like the like the cleanup thing.
Oh yeah, at the zoo.
And
Okay, I got the
we
name.
had like an hour and a half after that to just roam the zoo. And one of the people I was with, when we got into Australia, you know how
The kangaroos are free roam.
Yeah.
Which when we went last time we went to the zoo, I was also Gary. Let's go. Fight kangaroos.
So I found the name of
I'm
it.
not gonna name names, but
They know who
someone
they
tried-
are.
They know who they are, and they
know
tried
who
to
you
square up with a
are.
kangaroo, and like several of us were like, "Stop!"
You're gonna get your ass kicked.
You're gonna lose your wiener.
So
the
the,
kangaroo's like, "Oh,
the fish is called an arapaima. I don't
Arapaima.
know if you've ever seen this thing, but it's ginormous and it's red, and I think it's really pretty, but it's dumb and it eats everything.
So it's like a freshwater shark-ish type of thing.
Yeah, but it looks like a catfish with a sloped head. You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
So these fish get,
I know. Yeah.
These
Okay.
fish are like 20, get humongous, right? So, but the weird thing that this fish can do, and why it's so adaptive. So, this fish can survive in water that has no oxygen in it. I forget what kind of. There's a term for it. It's like
deoxygenated." Well, no.
It's like it's a term. It's like anoxygenated water or something like that.
Well, isn't that
But this so when the river
Oxygen-
swells in the
oxygen's a
rainy
mo-
season.
oxygen's a molecule? No, oxygen is an element in the molecule of water. How can you have deoxygenated water?
It would be like a lower amount of oxygen compared to other chemicals in
Okay.
the water itself.
Okay.
So like basically
But
creating
fish can die
another
that way.
molecule.
Yeah.
Fish can die because the oxygen level.
I know that. I just
But so,
And like having a lower atmospheric level for a human,
Gotcha.
essentially.
Okay.
Like how we on Pandora would just kind of just pass out because
Yeah.
there's not enough oxygen for us.
because I know that in like in 2013 there was a joke, like some people were selling water bottles that's had deoxygenated or dehydrated water or dehydrated water, and it was just air.
Yeah.
but anyway, so these things these things are giant, right?
Mm.
So when the water swells in the rainy season in the forest, right? They'll get and then it falls again.
Mm-hmm.
They'll get stuck in puddles on land, like big puddles, like probably like 10-foot puddles.
Yeah.
Like 10-foot like holes, and these guys will filter all the air out of the water, right? And then they'll start breathing the air. So they'll come up and like I
so
swear,
it's like a giant mud skipper that can
Yep.
kill you.
yep, and they can survive off that and eating whatever wanders into that puddle till the rainy season comes back and they can get back in the river.
That's messed up.
They can survive off doing that
That's perfectly adapted.
for that situation, right? And so
Like all
Forrest
fish are
Galante, which is
Yeah.
Forrest Galante, which is a biologist that I am become infatuated with in this past 2 months, he says you'll be strolling through the Amazon and it'll be super quiet and peaceful, and then you'll just hear a and it's an arapaima gasping for air in the river.
Just nice and quiet jungle noises.
Yes.
And then like something like 15 feet away from you, you just
Yeah, and he says it's loud and it's like startle you.
like shattering.
Yeah, and so since these things are so big, there's only so few things that can kill them. And now that they're in the Everglades, there's not very many alligators that are that big to kill them. And these things lay like 20,000 eggs per.
Oh, sweet Jesus. That's a horrible invasive species.
It's
So-
like a stink bug.
So he's
in
saying
the ocean.
there's only been one scene, and so Forrest Galante's theory is that there was just some big drug lord who had a giant aquarium and he just dumped it into the Everglades. So he's like, if you only had one, we're okay. This thing will die. We'll be
but
fine.
if we had two,
But if there's two and there happen to be male and female, they're here.
there's no stopping them.
They're just gonna be a part of the Everglades now. So
I see no reason that could stop that thing from getting to other areas too, though.
I mean that thing could swim up rivers since there's freshwater fish, and that thing could go all through America.
Right. It'd make the Missouri River much more interesting.
Well, we already have a giant fish in the Missouri River. I forget what it's called, but it was on multiple episodes of River Monsters, I think.
Is it like the giant alligator gars?
No, it's not that one. It was like a eely fish. It's not classified as an eel. It's a fish, but it's just long and skinny, and it's humongous. I forget what it's called though. But yes, there are giant alligator gar on the Missouri River.
Oh, yeah.
That are terrifying.
I love how like one of your topics is recreational fishing.
Hey, I like watching
Yeah,
fishing
we,
videos.
we have YouTube pulled up on the TV in the back from here.
Yeah, for some context. But yeah, you know, elephants are the only mammal to have 4 knees.
Wait, what?
Think about it. What other animal, all 4 of their legs bend in the same direction?
Are those not knees, though?
Like classical knees, like us.
Okay, so they bend like ours.
Yes.
Okay. Now
Like-
I'm on the same
Like our
page.
knees.
I thought I was about to say, like, what about a horse or my dog?
Like our knees, sorry.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
no, I did not, like, I've never really thought about it from that aspect,
Yeah.
but, like, just to say 4 knees, I was, like, ready to be like, are you trying to start a fight with me by gaslighting
there's
me?
pro-
Like,
there's
where's this
other
going?
But
primates.
your dog's legs don't all bend in the same direction.
Right, that's
but like
what
a
I'm saying.
horse, yes. But like
Like, I get what you're saying now.
right, yeah.
Like, the way that, like, some knees bend like this,
Yeah.
and some of them, you know,
I mean,
bend like a
horse-
normal
horse?
human knee.
Horses do that too.
Yeah.
Now that I think
but
about
the
it,
hind
dumb.
legs, yeah.
But yeah, like all
back-
elephants, they bend all in the same direction.
The back legs on a horse moves like a
Yeah, because when they
AT-AT
run,
walker.
they look like that when they're sprinting
Right.
and they're all in air.
The back legs drive forward, while on a dog, the front legs drive forward.
Right.
It's kind of,
Mm-hmm.
that's where you can find the difference in where the spring is.
Right.
The spring and the step.
Um.
Be afraid of horses. They're like giant rabbits. They scare just as easy.
They do, which it's
terrifying.
It's hilarious.
That's why Bruce
that
Campbell will never go near horses
that's-
again.
an animal that large
Why?
and menacing.
He was
Horses are terrifying.
he was
Kicked
filming.
in the face.
He got hurt on a horse. He was filming Briscoe County Junior, you know, a western, and something happened with a horse, and he was like, not again.
Why does
Never
the
doing it
wombat?
again.
I don't know if you know this, Connor, but why does the wombat poop in perfect cubes?
I thought that was the quokka.
I think it's the wombat.
You're probably right. The
That's
quokka's the one that smiles all the time. I know that for a fact.
The little happy one.
Yeah.
Oh.
Are quokkas also? Are they marsupials or are they just regular mammals?
I mean, they'd have to.
Yeah,
be
wombat poop.
I don't know about the quokka though. Marsupial, like, yeah, they poop in squares.
Yeah,
Kind of like how the koala, instead of like having, you know, like traditional milk, it also has like this yogurt or
Yogurt.
I'm trying to describe it, and yogurt's not the way I wanted to go because it's also a dairy
It
product.
milks Gogurt.
Go-Gurt's a better one to go with, not because of the yogurt content of milk, because of the color. So they have like it's called a pap smear, and it comes out their butthole, and that's what they feed off of as babies for a while to a certain point, because the eucalyptus is just the right amount for them.
Don't they have 2 wieners too?
I think so. I can't say that one for sure. I
Isn't
know their
it
brains are smooth.
Aren't
I hate them.
smooth brains? That's why they're so dumb.
It is. No, they're horrible creatures,
They're-
and I don't understand
yeah.
how they've even continued to exist.
Because they're cute, just like sloths. Sloths shouldn't
I
exist
also
anymore.
hate sloths.
I know you hate sloths.
They're inefficient little suckers.
Oh, you know what's crazy? Wyatt, you might know the name of this creature, but there's a sloth-like creature, and it's the only venomous mammal. And it has poison glands on its inner thigh that it will lick and then bite you with its poison.
sloth-like?
It's sloth-like.
Where's it
the
from?
name of it.
Is it from India?
It's from Asia.
So it
I
could
know
be
there's a
India.
monkey that's was at one point considered venomous, but
I
it
don't-
turns
I
out
didn't
it just
say
creates
it's-
so much
I
bacteria
don't know if
in
it's
its mouth.
considered a monkey or a sloth, but it looks and is fast as like a sloth.
Interesting.
Just look up poisonous or venomous mammal.
Yeah.
I know it exists.
Because there is also, you know,
Yes.
that huge difference of venomous and poisonous. Oh, those things!
Yes.
The little freaky finger
Um,
dudes. One of them sang a Billie Eilish song and Sing 2. They're basically like
I thought that was a lemur.
poisonous tree rat lemur thing.
Wait, hold on.
Isn't that a
Maybe it's
species of lemur?
poisonous.
Or similar to a lemur? The thing is, like, it's got real big eyes. It kind of looks like Mort from Madagascar, but with creepier fingers.
Maurice.
And
Oh no, it's the only poisonous mammal.
that's incorrect.
The
Or wait, no, venomous, because poisonous versus venomous, it is two
slow
different things. I'm backwards.
Slow lorises.
Yeah. We have a few of them at the zoo.
Yeah.
They're kind of, like,
The
adorable in
it
an
says
ugly
that
way.
are the only of the world's are one of the world's only venomous mammals. Even rarer, they use their venom on one another. So, but these guys have poison glands on their thighs that they lick and will bite you. How crazy is that? There's more than one venomous mammal, but like that one's that thing evolved to poison you.
Huh.
And it's like a sloth. It moves like a sloth. It's slow. It's like in the trees.
It's still probably faster than a sloth, though.
It's slow.
Because a sloth is slow enough that it grows moss on it.
True.
And that's another reason why I just can't stand them. Filthy, disgusting creature. They give birth and then it'll just fall onto the ground. And they don't do anything. They don't mourn either, like another mammal would. Like, even, like, there's other mammals that'll, like, it'll mourn. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, a dog will be sad if a puppy doesn't, turn out just right. Not for long, but it'll still react. No.
Well, they're kind of like that gun in that game. He's like, they're my offspring, but I don't care about them because they have a very short lifespan. So I'm kind of emotionless towards it now. Because so
it's kind of like that, yeah.
Tell me why killer whales are so smart. When they were driving the sharks out of South Africa, they were only eating the livers.
That part I can't help you with. The liver, probably maybe smell.
Well, I'll tell you why. They're high in minerals.
Well, yeah, no, that's why they're eating them. But I mean, like, being able to, like,
why are they going? Why do they know to go for that? Because carnivores have naturally higher minerals in their livers because they only eat meat, right?
Right.
So, but how do they know to be like, hey, I'm gonna go eat that thing's liver?
You can probably smell it.
Yeah, there's a certain amount of natural instinct that can come from that as well, because it's been what's the word? Observed.
I smell the iron.
That, like, humans, if, like, there's been people that get stranded at sea and they catch fish, they'll start to crave certain parts of the fish that they've never wanted before, but it's also where they would find certain vitamins that they are lacking. So there's a part of it that, like, somewhere in the body, somehow nature just finds a way.
Yeah, but that human would eat the whole fish.
Right.
These killer whales
they're looking for that specific
just the
thing.
liver and leaving the rest of the body.
It's not just survival. Well, it is survival for them. But they are looking for that specific thing. I think it's innately in there.
I know
somewhere.
we've kind of like teased this subject on the podcast before, but do you think if whales and stuff stayed land creatures, they would have evolved much further? Well, there's proof of them having knees and
right, like a dog. They
like,
basically evolved from a very canine-like creature.
There's proof of like even blue whales having de-evolutionizing knees. Like there was a point where they had.
That's why their tails are like that.
Right.
Oh.
Which that reminds me of something related to Avatar, so that way maybe we can shove it in the title again somewhere or put it in the thumbnail, so that way we can get more views.
Hey, the one new subscriber, if you're watching this, shout out to you. We are now at 68.
Thank you.
We're one subscriber away from deleting our channel, so
yep, get ready.
It's been a fun ride.
69.
What's another fascinating
animal
fact?
My thought was that James Cameron needs to calm down. He apparently has been correcting people when they call the space whales. He's like, they're not whales. It's like, well, maybe you shouldn't have given it a blowhole or a whale tail or whale-like features, like such as being basically a giant mammal in the water.
Right.
So it's like, pardon us for rationalizing it as a space whale.
Right.
Because it's a space whale.
Right.
But I rest my case. Even eats food like a whale.
Mm-hmm.
Someone, I think it was you, that was literally like, it opens its mouth like a whale shark.
Are his teeth like a whale's teeth?
They don't have teeth.
Yeah, they didn't have teeth. They don't filter feed like
What's
a whale.
That one shark
just
that filter feeds?
Like a lot
sun
of them.
shark.
What are we talking about? Oh, wait, shark that filter feeds.
Yeah. It's like not a killer.
I thought we were talking about whales.
Not a whale shark, a shark. And its mouth opens humongous and it looks terrifying. I think it's a sun shark, right? Or a basking shark?
Maybe. I don't know my sharks very well.
It's like a basking shark or a sun shark. It has something to do with the sun. But they like filter feed and their mouths get humongous, just like whale sharks. But it's way more menacing because they have a pointier nose.
I know goblin sharks don't do that, but goblin sharks are fun to look at.
Yeah, sun shark.
That's the best I got. Sharks reminded me of something that reminded me back of another mammal, so I thought of sharks.
It is a basking shark. Look at it.
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about.
Before.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
You go, Wah.
But sharks reminded me of like hammerhead sharks, and then hammerhead reminded me of a different animal. There's a hammerhead bat. I invite you to look at it. I love bats. I think bats are kind of cute. Then you have this one. This one grosses me out.
No bats are cute.
Bats are adorable.
Oh, what is wrong with this face?
See? I encourage you, if there's not a
It
video...
looks like it's something out of Star Wars.
Yeah, it looks like a Minox dumb cousin. But I encourage you, if there's not a picture on the screen right now,
It does look like a Minox.
please be aware, hammerhead bats are disgusting. I also encourage you to look
The
up...
mouth looks like one of the mouths that you get on Spore.
Yeah.
Look at it.
It does look like a spore creation.
I encourage you to also look up what their skull looks like. That's not cartilage.
That's bone.
That's bone. That's why they call it a hammerhead bat, because its head is a sledgehammer.
Mm-hmm.
Look up
looks
a
like a
hammerhead
damn
bat skull.
dinosaur.
It's not okay. Like, every other bat is not like
I don't know
this,
if you've
or
seen
in
hippo
terms of like how
skulls.
It's
it's
like a
looked.
dinosaur skull.
A hippo skull, they're terrifying.
They're like
If
yeah.
you like, I like to see where it's like if aliens had to recreate the hippo in like AI, and it's like they're just a really terrifying creature with like
It's horrifying.
like, but then it's like, hey, I'll still kill you though. Hippos are one of the most terrifying creatures on the
I mean,
planet.
baby hippos are cute, but like when they get
oh
up
yeah,
to,
like pygmy hippos.
Well, there's a
They're
thing.
still scary.
in,
They'll still bite your
in
hand.
Madagascar. I don't know if you guys know this. There was a species called the dwarf hippo, and it evolved to be smaller because it didn't have as much land to roam on, and it didn't have as much waters to be in because it's on Madagascar. And it was the only hippo on Madagascar.
Are we talking about the same hippo?
Dwarf. It's called a dwarf hippo.
I thought it was called a
Pinkett?
pygmy hippo.
Mm-mm. I mean, that probably is a name for it. Like,
What'd you say?
I said Jada Pinkett because she played Gloria. In
Did she play
Madagascar.
Gloria?
Yeah, she played Gloria.
I don't think I knew that was her voice.
That's why the situation with her and Chris Rock is so weird.
That's even
Because
weirder.
they
I
were
had
friends.
oh my lord.
Because they're
I
friends.
didn't know that part, I don't think.
yep, pygmy hippo is another name for it.
Okay, so we are on the same
It's
page.
the same hippo. It's like instead of being
They have
six,
one
instead of being
at
6
the
to 6.5
zoo
foot.
in what's it called? Big one. Midwest. It's actually not that big. Just a lot of people go to it.
Omaha.
Omaha, there we go.
You went
Yeah,
to
the
it in
pygmy hippo,
summer.
I thought
You
they were
went to it
extinct.
last March.
Yeah, but words don't always come out of my mouth.
Yeah.
They have one pygmy hippo.
Are they extinct in the wild then? Because I thought there was something to do with them being
Maybe. I don't know. I
extinct.
saw one, and they label it pygmy hippo. They also had a lot of fruit bats, but like the
They
small
do have
ones.
a lot of
They
fruit
didn't have any
bats.
like flying foxes, I don't think.
What's funny,
About 10,000 years
Wyatt
ago,
and
the
I were
dwarf
in
hippos
Omaha
became
at-
extinct.
But this thing was 100% a tiny hippo. It was
Wyatt and
not
I
a
were
baby.
in Omaha at the same time when we didn't see each other. It was sad.
Literally went to the zoo on the same day, but we couldn't coordinate enough to see each other.
Yeah.
The time that he was leaving the Desert Dome, I was going to the Desert Dome, and by the time I got to the Desert Dome, he was outside of the zoo.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe something's just wrong with it because this says the Madagascar hippopotamus, the dwarf hippopotamus, is an extinct species of hippopotamus, and endemic to the island of Madagascar.
Hold on, I'm gonna look up some other stuff. Keep talking. I'm gonna try and find something because I know
Weren't
that
we
was
gonna
totally
talk
labeled
about
tiny hippo.
marsupials?
Well, then you get me started on animals, and I kind of just start spewing stuff.
Yeah, what just happened? I just saw that out of my corner of my eye. What did you just do?
I was pulling out my sleeve and it like and I let go my sleeve and it was around here and I hit myself in the face with my microphone.
Sorry, listeners. Go. What's another good animal fact?
Oh, that was great. Wait. Hello. I am.
Yeah,
Okay. We're still good.
pygmy hippo.
Maybe they're two different hippos. Look up pygmy hippo or versus dwarf hippo. Because maybe
Yeah,
it's
this
like,
one says primary in Liberia,
Okay.
Western Africa.
Okay. So
There's a big difference.
two
there.
different. Yeah. A long span of mileage in between that.
Yeah, this is just another species of hippo that's also small but different.
No, these were like instead of being like 6.5 foot to the shoulder, they were more like 2 to 3.5 foot to the shoulder.
Yeah, these ones are a little bigger than that.
Well, because they're
He
still
just
mainland African
"Hi."
animals,
Yeah, this thing you could ride
right?
still.
These
sort
were
of.
these were.
I wouldn't recommend it. He'll flip you over and just drown you.
Yeah,
and
he's
eat you.
you ain't gonna last long on him.
What? So Africa's another place where it's just like, what
Are
was
there any marsupials in Africa? I don't know much about
Is
marsupials outside of Australia
honey
and
badger a
North America.
marsupial?
I don't
Is
think
what?
so.
Are badgers marsupials?
I don't
No.
know. They shouldn't be at least. Or if
'Cause I
there's
know
anything
they're-
that's
I
considered a
know-
false badger.
I know honey badgers are the same family as skunks.
Right.
Yeah.
They can shoot that spurts. It's just different quantity, like different quantities.
They can't do it as efficiently.
Right.
But
It's
when
more of
you're
a musk
when you're
versus
a goddamn
direct.
honey badger, I don't think it matters.
I don't think there's any. Nothing's saying there's marsupials in.
Are there any
Africa.
in Europe and Asia? There's an Asian possum, isn't there? Or a possum
believe
somewhere in
so.
Asia?
Or is the red panda a marsupial?
It's not a marsupial.
No.
I know
Pandas
that
are
one.
marsupials, aren't they?
No.
No.
No,
Pandas
they're
aren't.
bears.
I don't think they're technically like bear
But
bears.
I thought they had a pouch with their little pink guy inside of them.
No.
No.
They just give birth to an extremely small thing
Okay.
Yeah.
because they get really fat.
Remember
Right.
the remember
I just
the,
remember a pinky, and that usually goes with marsupial.
Remember,
Yeah,
like,
things.
with the little baby panda outside and it sneezes and scares the hell out of the mom?
Yeah, they were
Yeah.
like next to each other, that video.
Yeah.
I remember seeing like someone animate that, but it's like what's it, Master
All extinct.
Shifu?
All marsupials are endemic to Australia. I don't know what that says in the Americas. I don't know what that is. That an island off of Australia?
Yeah, that doesn't make sense. Wallacea.
You see?
I'm just gonna look
That's
it
like a, what do you call that? You know, like the phylums and stuff like that? It's like that, one of those kind of words. It's like a family of creatures.
Yeah, it's an islands.
It's an islands?
Like it's like a group of islands. It looks like.
So now I have more questions.
Yeah, it's a group of islands above Australia.
Really?
Like, next to the Philippines and everything?
Yeah, it looks like.
Mainly Indonesian islands.
Yep. So
Interesting. So there's marsupials over there.
Geography.
I mean, it makes sense, but so there's no marsupials in Asia?
it didn't. It said no.
Well, like,
wild.
main landmass Asia.
Naturally, probably not. They might-
Dingoes aren't marsupials, and they're in Australia. But they're not
Right.
from Australia. They were brought there
They
from
might have
Europe.
they
I
might
think.
No. Those are from that area of the world.
I don't.
They're
think
native
so.
throughout
I
that
thought they were native to like Asia or something. I don't think
They're
all-
no, like
Dingoes?
the Pacific Ocean. They like live on different islands. There's dingoes in Japan. Like,
Yeah, but I don't.
they
I thought
just
they were
live
brought
there.
to Australia.
I don't think so, or at least not in the way that we might think.
Dingoes introduced. When did dingoes first come to Australia? The dingo's Australia's wild dog. It's an ancient breed of domestic dog that was introduced to Australia probably by Asian seafarers about 4,000 years ago.
That's still like,
So it's a,
Well, I'm not
it's
saying
an
that was a
adapted
recent
version
thing.
of the Shiba
Right.
Inu.
which is like a lot of
But
people.
I know they're the downfall, partial downfall to the thylacine
right.
is because they're another big predator.
A predator.
Right.
Dingoes
So-
will fight sharks.
So wait. So their ancestor is a domesticated dog.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
That's
Backwards.
that's why
Yeah.
a Shiba Inu and a dingo look so similar
because a dingo is a Shiba Inu.
to a certain
Feral.
degree.
It like just adapted to Australia
Yeah,
and
and
feral.
other
And
islands.
hunting animals as
And
well.
dingoes will. There is dingo populations in Japan, like small, but they're there. It's the ones in Japan and Australia and Tasmania that'll like screw you up though.
Yeah.
Or I think it's Tasmania.
It's mainland Australia.
They will like straight up fight sharks.
Yeah.
Sharks will get close to shore, and a dingo is like, "Are you challenging me?
Well, so Forrest Galante, I'm obsessed
Are
with
you
this man,
approaching me?"
has a theory on the chupacabra.
Go on.
Let me elaborate.
Are they just
His theory,
koalas?
no. His theory goes, and there multiple people theorize this, but I heard it from him, so I'm going to say his theory goes: there was a boat from Australia headed to a zoo in Brooklyn or a zoo in America. I don't know. I'm not going to say exactly where because I don't remember. But a zoo in America. There was a boat with animals headed for this zoo, and it crashed. And there was 2 thylacine on this boat. It crashed, and every animal was recovered except for these 2 thylacine. And right around a couple years after that, there was these signs of these weird-looking dog things with a weird-shaped head, which thylacine had a weird-shaped head because they could unhinge their jaw like a snake.
Yeah.
And then what were they feeding on in Australia? Sheep. What's the closest thing there?
Goats.
Goats. And they because this boat crashed in in Mexico. in South America. I think it was South America.
I was going to say, there's a few things that I have hang-ups onto that, though.
This is just a theory. I'm not saying this is true, but like I'm saying, like this is what his like people theorize the chupacabra was. Is like just like these small, very tiny population of thylacine that.
So, as I understand the story of the chupacabra, it started in Puerto Rico, and that's where chupacabra as a concept originates, and then it spread to areas like coastal Mexico near Texas, and then it went more north because people were like, oh, monster.
I forget exactly where they crashed though. I don't know.
See, that's the thing. It would have had to depend on year,
right?
Because if I recall the
this
story,
is like modern history,
right?
So.
The chupacabra stories that I am familiar with that we started to come into knowing started in the early 90s. Like 1990s.
Well, yeah, I think this was before that.
It would have had to have been.
Yeah, so.
For thylacines,
right.
at least. Like, when was the last one pictured? Like 1950-something?
I know it died in a zoo. The last known one died in a zoo. I don't know. I think it was earlier than that.
Is it 19-teens?
I think so, but I don't want to say for sure.
We had pictures of it, at least.
We had videos of it.
So that gives us an idea of like time and area. Then I thought it was after World War I that it died.
1936. So yes, in between the wars.
What zoo did it die in?
I don't know.
No idea where that is.
I thought it was in New York, but I guess I was wrong.
There's no reason to believe that's not in New York State, unless it says otherwise. I just don't know how to pronounce that very French-looking name.
Yeah, but look at these things, man. They're weird looking.
They were striped. They had unhingeable jaws, and apparently, didn't they make a weird noise?
I don't know, man.
But I may be wrong about chupacabras, but as I understood it, the stories that we're familiar with started in the 90s,
right,
in Puerto Rico.
That's just the theory, how the theory goes.
But that's just a theory.
Animal
chupacabra theory.
But yeah, and
the cryptid theory.
So that's like honestly probably the number one thing that people still might believe it might be out there.
I think there's a chance of it. He's somewhere out there.
Well,
I 100% believe that there's a tall, creepy white man touching kids out there. That's totally happening.
Well, see, I didn't know this until recently. It only takes 30 years for the animal of it being unseen for it to be labeled extinct.
That's how long?
It's only 30 years.
There's been birds that have been considered extinct, and we just find them.
Exactly, because they're just like, oh, I haven't seen that thing in 30 years, so, and we knew it was endangered, so I guess it's gone now.
And it's a fair assumption that no one's seen it in 30 years.
Right.
No one's seen the Kennedy for 30 years, so
The what?
The Kennedys.
Oh, like the family. I'm like, what are we talking about here? I thought we were getting into a zone. It's just like, this is what?
I was just making a messed up joke. It's okay.
For the last 12 minutes here, do you want to talk about our future plans for the
I had one thought that I remembered about the Amazon.
Oh, go for it.
It makes sense that it's such a large river that some kind of larger civilization, other than just as you would see tribes that live there today,
right,
would have existed at one point.
It
just makes too much sense.
Yeah, it's a major river.
River civilizations are
everywhere,
and it makes sense that it would at one point,
right,
fertile soil became somewhere from that river,
and
if there was giant fish that would live in puddles, it makes it a little harder to farm near the river.
Right.
But yeah, that's my thought to that.
All right. So, what?
We have a pitch. I have a pitch for Connor.
Okay, yeah, make a pitch, Wyatt.
Bluegrass band.
Okay.
Here's the kicker. I teach you how to play the mouth harp. Or,
is it like the boing boing?
Yeah, it makes the fun little noises and like Ennio Morricone music.
Oh.
It's the spoons. Gary knows how to play the spoons. I'm sure we could teach you the spoons. The washboard.
These are easy.
Yeah, these things are out there. We can teach you how to do them relatively fast. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But we play the music that the one episode of Family Guy where Quagmire and Peter become basically Simon and Garfunkel.
Yeah. Oh God. Have you ever put butter on a Pop-Tart? That episode?
Like that. I'm afraid to poop in strange places.
Keep going.
It's that, but we do it in bluegrass. I'm learning the banjo. Gary's the one that actually knows how to sing. he's been trained to sing, taught, so he knows more about that singing than I do. I have a stringed instrument. That's the best I got there.
I have a harmonica.
We need someone to learn how to play the harmonica, which apparently people are like, oh, it's easier than you think it is, and it's like, is it?
Well, it's just chugging. You're doing you could do the same thing with a milk jug.
Well, yeah. Well, it's a little more complicated than a milk jug.
Yeah, but it's finding the notes. The hardest thing for me to learn was
it's usually size makes a difference.
Singling out the note.
Yeah.
Because you have to pinch your lips pretty hard to get one note. But it's just like and you just pick your 3 notes you want to play, and you do that.
If Billy Joel can do it while playing the piano and simultaneously looking like Darth Vader, anybody can do it. Have you seen him recently, Connor?
I know he's gotten a little thick, but man.
No. It's not about thick. It's about how he's bald and his head's also kind of scary looking. Billy Joel. Look at the current picture of Billy Joel. It looks like Darth Vader, like the little mouth thing when he's playing the harmonica while also on the piano. It looks like Darth Vader's breather when Luke takes the helmet off.
That's so mean.
I'm not the first one to say this.
I know, which is unfortunate.
If we also want to get into the spectrum of scary-looking celebrities, Elton John does not look very good either right now.
Yeah, but Elton John's freaking old and did a lot of drugs.
So did Billy Joel.
And a lot of... I'm not going to finish that sentence.
Go on.
No.
Finish it.
No.
Do it. Hit me.
To be fair, I also didn't finish the sentence because, one, we'd only...
It would be like an inside joke type of thing?
It would be a very large inside joke.
Gotcha.
Like a middle school sized one.
Heard.
Yeah.
But yeah, bluegrass music, but we play specifically, like, that's where it starts, is those kind of, like, they're simple rhythm songs, essentially. And I think at one point, we could all learn to harmonize them because it's like, they're rather simple. But yeah.
Quagmire is usually just a fifth above Peter.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, it's there.
Yeah.
But on top of that,
we
also just, learn a few, like, traditional, like, bluegrass, gospel-y-ish songs, like This Little Light of Mine, that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We learn a few of those, just toss it together, and we got a little bluegrass band.
Mr. Booze.
Bluegrass style Mr. Booze.
I don't know. I kind of just want to sing that at, like, a church or something.
Okay. I was going to say, I think we should... If we're going to go that far, then I think we also need to look at the original arrangement from whatever Frank Sinatra thing that's from.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot more to that song.
One of the best songs in Family Guy is when Stewie, Frank
and
Jr.
A Wonderful Day for Pie. That's another one on that list, Connor.
It's a wonderful day for pie.
But continue.
It's like Frank Sinatra Jr. That was a character.
Oh, yeah.
And Stewie and Brian all sing in the restaurant. One of the best songs composed for Family Guy ever, in my opinion.
They all get tired
Frank
of Frank Sinatra
Sinatra's
Jr.
Restaurant. That song. I love that song. I don't know why. I don't know. The amount of effort that goes into the music on that show, I appreciate so much.
I really like there's one song from American Dad that gets stuck in my head.
Go on.
And it's different writing teams, I think, is what it comes down to. But it was the Krampus song, and he's talking about, like, punishing people.
Oh, yeah.
And then he also gets really sad because his life is horrible.
Oh, no.
And, quote, Sheena left him in the rainy streets of Baltimore. It's just
Sheena
really
left
catchy.
him in the rainy streets of Baltimore.
And he talks about Dennis, quote, that damn Dennis.
Oh, my Lord.
And him and I don't remember the son's name from American Dad, but they also, like, have a duet that they sing with each other.
Well,
there's a big Beauty and the Beast thing that happens. It's really weird.
I think so. In this year, we're also going to try to push out some more D&D content.
Yeah, because Mini Melee, we're going to get back on the bridge with that. It got a little messy with the Christmas season.
We had another D&D thing to worry about.
Little last minute one.
Yeah,
but it worked.
It worked. I thought it worked. I mean, the audio. The only thing I think could have been better is the audio.
Yeah,
which we're working on,
and getting the GoPro footage off the GoPro.
Yeah,
but what are you?
It also just looked bad too.
The GoPro footage looked bad
because of the lighting system that we have. It was like just shadows on a board.
Oh,
so it's like this doesn't help anything.
We'd have to have like a above light to.
Yeah,
but that would also
like another light,
us up.
Few lights from this angle with proper diffusion systems.
Yeah,
we'd have to invest in a few more lights. Which, if we had a table light, essentially, like like miniature photographers use a lot of like these little ones, that would have actually helped a lot. It would have threw off these cameras, this camera a little.
Buy the phone sized light one that we saw that one time.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's essentially what I'm talking about. They make some that are more of like the yellow color versus just white light, though. So I think that would have also helped.
Yeah.
But yeah, a few more D&D things. Hopefully we'll finally get a sketch thing written out and made. I'm looking into getting a better phone camera, better phone with a better camera, so that way we can actually make TikTok content. Because normally I'm running social media. That's normally where that comes from.
Yeah.
And I'm wanting to do more things, but I also don't know how to not look cringy. So there we go.
I mean, everyone is cringy whenever they start out.
That's not the thing, though.
One of his videos that got popular early on was him being king of the squirrels and having peanut butter on his face.
But there's a difference between that being actually kind of funny.
That's true.
And the amount of cringe of just like,
Remember
I don't know how
Jacksepticeye
social media works.
Remember that video of Jacksepticeye? I love nature. It's so beautiful.
Yep.
Let's do shit like that.
Just start shouting at things.
Yeah. Top of the morning to you, laddies.
That's part of the reason why I want to get like the different kind of mounts for like a GoPro, so that way I can wear one on my chest and just chase people down in the middle of the street.
But you gotta run with knife hands like this.
You gotta have the hands in front of the camera. Even like at a natural walking speed, though, it just needs to be really slow, and that would go somewhere. I think someone would like that.
I mean, the only not skit, but like short film idea I've had recently was, we got those wands at Comic-Con. We could do like an American, like modern day American Harry Potter story.
That'd be rad.
I think it'd be funny.
Like,
because there's ways that can either go with like the juxtaposition of all like the wizard rules that we do know, conflicting with just the way things are, but or like more legitimate like wizard stuff.
But yeah, like I thought about that and I was like, the effects budget would be nuts.
Or just a lot of time.
Yeah.
It would take so long.
It'd either be
That's
spend a lot of money or spend a lot of time.
That's
I gotta find a few of the places I've looked at online or on Instagram that I follow, but
Yeah.
there's relatively getting cheaper and cheaper stuff that we can do for effects that look pretty okay.
I know, like I
think it'd be funny to be like a wizard in modern day America, and it would be like, all right, everyone get down, and the wizard stands up and he just gets shot.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
You just like spelling up.
There's a reason the giant war that happened in that universe, the humans won it.
Yeah.
It's because we have guns.
Yeah. That's why I think that the entirety of Harry Potter could have been solved, like with the good wizards versus the bad wizards, if every wizard was like, wand, Glock.
Glock. Yeah, and they have to say, like, they drop their British accent. Wand, Glock.
Because, like, there's a movie called Wizards, animated movie, Ralph Bakshi, and there's, like, the last bit of the movie, the two wizards are brothers. And he's just like, I was always glad for one thing. And he's, like, acting like he's casting a spell with his hands. And he's like, I'm real glad you didn't take our mother's name when you went evil, you son of a bitch. And he just shoots.
Really?
Yeah, he just pulls
is it like the animated movie?
Yeah, he just pulls a Luger out of his sleeve and shoots his brother in the chest, who is, like, the antagonist. He's literally like Wizard Hitler.
I've never seen Wizards. I need to watch it.
It's pretty good. Mark Hamill has a part in it because George Lucas was kind of friends with Ralph Bakshi and a bunch of stuff like that.
Well, on the note of Wizard Hitler, we're out of time for this week's episode of the podcast. Please make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Please make sure to like and go down to the comments and comment the secret word, which is...
That's not the word.
That's the word. Go comment...
Yeah. I couldn't think of a word fast enough, so I was trying to buy time.
Square wombat poop.
Wombat.
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 Go down to the comments and type wombat, and we'll heart your comment, and Wyatt will send you a sticker. And
sorry, hat on. There we go.
Please remember to like the video. I already said that, but we'll see you next week, guys.
Bye-bye.